Hi, here's some helps for lesson number 8 here in Religion 225. Um, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the first part of this because it's just repeat stuff and you can read it. And anyway, but of course you have your lesson truths for these articles of faith here, article of faith number 7. And then you have your key study materials here, of course. Um, Required readings here. This was basically just a paper here, and so you've got these others within the scriptures, and then an elder's health talk and a religion manual reading. Anyway, and of course, your supplementary material. Activities, of course, you've got your discussion boards, same as usual. Get your word count in there, titled right, and make sure that you've got post in by Tuesday. Get full credit, and then your other two posts. You've got a summary paper. You've done this before. You've got end of week report, which you've done as well. One little tip about that. Some are having a little struggles with the binder report. You don't need to send me your binder link. I don't need it. You can. Happy to look at it if you want me to, but you don't need to send it to me. Basically, you just need to be able to finish that binder report, and you can do that a couple more times. And so, anyway, whatever you need to do to keep track of stuff for that binder, that'd be great. In fact, you might want to just fill it out as you go along, and then you're ready to go. So, anyway, where I want to spend my time here is under the synthesis project. I've gone through them all. They looked pretty good for the first round out. The second one's going to be a little bit different in the sense that you're going to have 4 weeks right here to produce a PowerPoint. And let's just stick with PowerPoint for the most part. Everything else gets a little jumbled up when you try to open it sometimes in iLearn. I don't know what happens, but it freaks out. Anyway, but right here, this is kind of the nuts and bolts of the whole thing. This one, how the resources of Articles of Faith 5 through 9 help Latter-day Saints deal with difficult issues such as plural marriage, abortion, and divorce. So, or something else. It could be gay marriage. It could be whatever it might be. Just could be anything. Um, any kind of thing in the social world we live in. There's just everything would be at play. What I would do is I would pick maybe a topic or two, or just a topic, and use it kind of as my platform to work through the things they've outlined here that you need to do. And so, anyway, or pick two or three, whatever you want. But there's sort of a modern day approach of how do these truths in these article of faith help you deal with difficult issues. It doesn't mean it solves it. I don't think there's anything in these articles that talk about plural marriage specifically, but there are principles there. And so, what are those principles that help us when we deal with issues that come up? There are going to be issues in this life that are not going to be solved. We're going to have to go in on faith and what we feel by the Spirit. And so, anyway, so what are we taught in these articles of faith to help us with these types of issues? And you might want to pick something like that. So, anyway, to work your way. So, these instructions here are pretty straightforward. I think they keep fine tuning them. They're not perfect yet, but they're better than they have been in past terms. So if you're finding them difficult, just think of those who've gone before you. Anyway, so here it is. This will be your final PowerPoint. This one's due, I believe, in week 10. And so, anyway, and then this final one's due at the end of the term. So, anyway, again, this is pretty simple, straightforward, but that's kind of the perspective about how to put this presentation together. Again, keep it simple. Use some scriptures as you come along in your reading. Maybe build a slide or two a week. This should be okay to get you through it. So, anyway, about the same word number requirement. 10 slides plus or so, probably for this one. So, anyway, if it's at least that, you're going to be fine. Don't need to go overboard either. So I know you got more to do than just one class, but you want to make this meaningful and something that you can learn from. So anyway, if you have any questions, send me an email, text me, call me. Happy to help. Hope you've had a great weekend. This is going to be a little late coming because we've been very, very busy with the temple rededication services, and so Anyway, cultural celebrations, we're all exhausted, but that's why this is coming to you on Monday. So, anyway, have a great week. See ya.